Tiffany.
Jennifer Hernandez, speaking on item 86 of Precinct 1. Nathan Kelly on items 106 and 108 of Precinct 3. Valentine Nwanko on item 176 of Precinct 1. You each have 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. This updated tax abatement policy is really about accountability. If the county is going to offer a tax break, it should only go to employers who respect workers and follow the law. This policy makes sure workers are covered with livable wages, have access to quality apprenticeship programs, receive proper safety training, and are protected from retaliation if they speak up. That means one job should be enough to live on. Workers should be able to go home safely at the end of the day, and no one should be afraid to report a problem on the job. These protections matter. Too many families in our communities are struggling. Wage theft is on the rise, and Texas continues to lead the nation in construction fatalities. Workers often witness unsafe conditions but remain silent out of fear of retaliation. Harris County has shown leadership by setting higher standards for its own projects. This policy builds on that leadership and makes sure public support goes to responsible employers. It's a smart step forward.
Thank you. Your time is up.
Harris County. Thank you.
Did you mention your name at the beginning?
I did not. Thank you. Jennifer Hernandez with the International Union of Painters and Allied Trades.
Thank you.
Labor.
Nice to see you.
Judge, I just
Yes,
want to thank you
Commissioner
for your work on the policy. I know it's been a long time, and just thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, Nathan Kelly with Blazer Building, speaking on behalf of items 106 and 108, both resolutions of support requests for 2 housing tax credit finance developments, one in Precinct 3, one in Precinct 4. A quick thank you to Director Costas and her team for helping to shepherd this process each and every year. Always appreciative of their support and for their continued partnership with the affordable housing community. Special thank you to Commissioner Brianos, Commissioner Ramsey for your team's efforts in helping to further close the gap on housing affordability in each of your precincts and on these 2 projects specifically. Here to answer any questions that may have been posed by either of your teams. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Val Wankwa. I'm part of the Texas Africa Chamber of Commerce. I stand here advocating for access to fair access to opportunity. When MWBEs succeed, neighborhoods thrive, local wealth grows, tax dollars circulate back into our economy. This is why a disparity study matters. It provides honest data, which allows Harris County to make smart decisions, not based on assumptions, but evidence-based policymaking. Equity in contracting is not about lowering standards. It's about removing unnecessary barriers so excellence can compete at a high level. When small businesses grow, families gain stability, neighborhoods become safer, healthier, and more resilient. And when that happens, Harris County as a whole becomes more competitive and more prosperous. I'm grateful for the leadership shown in commissioning this study. I encourage the continued action rooted in data, transparency, and accountability. Our chamber stands ready to partner with the county on this important matter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Natalie Wood, speaking virtually on item 221. You have 1 minute. Go ahead, please.
Did you say Natalie? Is the speaker here?
She's speaking virtually, Judge.
All right, go ahead.
I think she may be having some audio issues. We'll move to the next speaker.
Okay, and then we'll come back to this speaker.
Yes, ma'am. Jacob Clementage, speaking on items 216 and 221. Carrie McCracken, speaking on item 221. And Amanda Jones, speaking on item 221. You each have 1 minute.
Commissioner Tom Ramsey is doing a fine job because resolution number 216, he supports the Harris County Department of Education Case for Kids County Connections, and that is good. Now, for 221, the mapping project by U of H and Wolf-Yall of Harris County to map for mental health issues is good also. Now, I was also going to speak on Commissioner Brianna's 222 about the Autism Awareness Festival. That's nice also. And also about 226, which deals with the Toro Stadium on using her precinct charter buses and dealing with Healing Through Art and Soccer Initiative. That is good because there's soon going to be
Thank you. Your time is
FIFA.
up.
Thank
There's
you.
going to be FIFA. And also, one last question. It's rodeo time. It's soon going to be rodeo time. And it's going to be at NRG Park.
Yeah, your time is up.
All right. Thank you, Jacob. But I know we let folks go a little longer, so I'm going to have to do that for the rest of today. Thank you.
Okay. Well, y'all be my Valentines.
Think about it. We'll think about it. All right. Thanks.
Good morning, Commissioners and County Judge. Commissioner Briones, I'm here to support item 221 in my capacity as the Executive Director of the Children's Assessment Center. I'm proud to say that we provided almost 13,000 mental health services to children and families last year at the CAC. But I'm also here as a board on the board of MBHP, which is a network of behavioral health professionals, which unites executive leaders from 48 mental health and substance abuse organizations here in Harris County to break down the silos and drive system-based solutions that strengthen access to mental health care, particularly for those that can't access us, the underprivileged, the underserved populations. As we know, Texas is 49th out of 50 in providing access to mental health care, which is unfortunate, but you look at problems and you consider them opportunities. So I applaud you. I hope we can do
Thank
this
you. Your
throughout
time
the
is up.
county. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Amanda Jones. I'm Director of Government and Public Affairs for the Harris Center for Mental Health and IDD. I'm a constituent of Precinct 4, and I'm also a member of the Precinct 4 Advisory Committee on Justice and Safety. And I'd like to speak today a little bit about the work of that committee. The purpose was to translate community voices into policy decisions. And one of the consistent recommendations of that committee was to expand mental health services, and in the context to reflect the rich diversity of our community. We've had great success in mapping and sequential intercept development in the past. For example, the intercept map of the criminal justice system led to the mental health diversion program. And this work is truly translate community input into data-driven solutions, and it can be transformative.
Thank you. How much money do you think it'll cost to bridge that gap? I know something like 40% of zip codes don't have mental health providers.
I would have to get back to you on that, and I think that the results of the map will help inform that information.
I think that's really important to put a number on it before we spend all the money on other things. We might have done that already. So the sooner you guys can put a number on it before budget season, I have to think it's tens, if not over $100 million, but I'm curious to see what you find.
We have done some mapping several years ago, and the new mapping will give us an update and see where things have changed and where the focus needs to be.
Yeah. Do you think you'll be able to have a number soon enough to where we can have this discussion as part of the budget season?
We would strive to do that.
Okay. When would be a good time to have that by, Director?
Budget submissions will be in May, so having it by May would be helpful.
By May, and really a specific number, because sometimes folks will say, well, this is what we think people will support. But I think that's sort of doing the politics for us. But as the experts, ideally what it is look, if we want there to be at least one counselor in every school, and if we want there to be proper mental health services, this is how much money we would need. We spent $100 million on pay raises for law enforcement. Didn't go to the community to ask for it. So my position is, let's spend at least $100 million on other things and not ask about it, because there are other things that are also necessary.
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you for doing this work. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Jones.
Thank you.
Natalie Wood, speaking virtually on item 221. You have 1 minute.
Good morning. Can you hear me? I'm Natalie Wood,
ma'am.
the Senior Vice President of Programs with Catholic Charity. We stand in support of item number 221 in the University of Houston Precinct 4 Mental Health Mapping Initiative. In my position, I have seen firsthand the deep need for multilingual, community-based mental health services, as mental health needs are profoundly shaped by culture, language, and lived experience. When programs are designed with communities rather than imposed on them, they reflect real priorities, reduce mistrust, and promote equity. The starting point in all planning must be to map current resources and assess gaps through data. The public data-driven dashboard and interactive GIS map will provide neighborhood-level reports on barriers to care and strength-based solutions. Neighborhood collaboration ensures a more culturally grounded, responsive, and sustainable project. This is what an equitable, data-driven, community-informed policy looks like. I appreciate the court's support of this important effort.
Thank you, Ms. Wood.
Thank you.
Next is Dr. Ray Field, speaking on item 225 of Precinct 4. Sonia Pang on item 228 of Precinct 1. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not going to do the public hearings yet. Just Dr. Ray Field for now, and Robert Grobe on item 235, and Peter Eccles on item 235.
Thank
You
you.
each have 1 minute.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Dr. Ray Field, retired Admiral. I had a recent visit to a county facility where I was threatened with forced removal, treatment hostility, denied fair access. I was spoken to in a way demeaning, intimidating, and be clear that the race was a factor in how I was treated. I was not given the same respect, patience, benefits of the doubt of the others. I was not only misunderstanding, it was discrimination. No resident has to follow the rules and serve this community for more than 2 decades, like I have, especially in a community facility meant to serve everyone. I'm asking the court to take in an investigation of what happened at this facility. This facility, which is this atrocity took place, is Bayland Community Center, Commissioner Briones, Precinct 4. My organization, Southwest CERT, and I have served this community 17 years without issue. You did not just respect but your actions weakened the community. I attended Texas A&M Fire Academy in 2010 with OEM coordinator Mark Sloan. I have the same credentials he does and more.
Thank you. Your time is up.
I need 5 seconds. I was
Go ahead,
harangued by
sir.
2
Go ahead.
staff
Go
at
ahead.
the
We're
door.
letting.
Garcia, will you give me 5 seconds?
Go ahead, sir.
I was sitting here, now I'm deaf, okay, and I read lips. I had 2 staffs. I had some gentleman works for her. He didn't give me a business card. I said, "Who are you?" And he says, "This is how we do things. This is how we're going to get this done. This is how we do it." And I looked at him and I said, you said you're a chief operating officer for Precinct 4? Is this a private corporation? I thought this was a county facility. And then the next lady came up. She sat right over there. She handed me a card and she said, "Listen to me when I say this, please." She said, "Here's a QR code. You can download it and live stream it. Just turn your volume down."
Yeah, I hear you, sir. So can you clarify? I was listening, but I didn't quite catch it. So the issue is.
The issue is, I've been serving this community at the Bayland Community Center since 2010, having my Homeland Security meetings, CERT, emergency response.
The CERT, okay.
Okay. Since Briones has took over the place, Commissioner Briones has took over the place, I've been harangued by her staff, always trying to put hoops in front of us.
Yeah.
We don't get paid, we're volunteers.
Yeah, it's great work.
This time in January, okay, I showed up for a meeting, and she said, and I don't know what the person showed up for the meeting, asked me to leave the field. She said, we don't have any room. Well, if you check the numbers for attendance, the building was empty.
Right.
And she couldn't even find the little library for me to use. So
Yeah.
instead, I took the people outside her front door of her building and did the CPR training on the back tailgate of my
But
truck.
you and me both, sir, being harassed by that precinct. So, and of course, sir, is important to emergencies. I'll have my staff visit with you.
I'm not holding Commissioner Briones personally responsible, but what I see is the lack of qualified training and not handle it. Especially today, I've asked many times, how come these boards don't have ADA at the bottom of it when I go right outside that door?
Yeah.
It's transcribed. And I'm going, come on, really?
No, I get it. We'll visit on that. And I,
Get a card? I'd like
yeah,
the card
well,
from all of them. I
my
don't have
staff
anybody's
is going to come up to you directly and talk to you about it.
Would you like a
and
copy of this?
they'll grab that and run it by me. And thank you for the work you do in CERT. And look, I'll share with you, working on tearing down one of my walls of my office without my permission. So that's what that staff does. Thank you.
I've been doing this 54 years, man, March 13th, and I think I'm going to finally retire from both of it. We're not federally funded.
Yeah.
It comes out of our funds. And last year, we spent $1.2 million, but during 2015, 16, and 17, I spent $9.5 million out of our pocket. We have the largest boat rescue crew in the country.
Yeah.
We travel all over the United States. I'm right here in my home city and my hometown, and I'm getting treated like this. And
I know. Just for folks' information, what CERT is a community response team, and they train citizens to help support during emergencies.
Free training.
And it's one of the key. Particularly strong programs we have at our Office of Emergency Management, and I'm very proud of it. I'm sorry you were treated that way. As I said, even the county judge gets treated that way. I'll visit with you. Sir, we need to talk to the next person, but thank you.
5 seconds. I was invited by Harris County in 2010 to go with Mark Sloan to Texas A&M. The only two people in Harris County in 2010. I'm the only master trainer that does not work full time
Yeah.
for any government agency. Thank you.
Thank you. And just real quick, and there is an item on here. I have a map of my office, but I don't understand what wall they want to tear down. Can somebody figure this out for me? Because it didn't go to Space Planning Committee. I'm leaving in, 7 months. I don't need my walls torn down. I'll have them pass this. I don't understand. All right, thank you.
Can I leave a copy
My
of this for
staff
permanent
is
record?
about to go find you.
Thank you. I'll be right outside the door.
All right, next speaker.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Robert Groby. I'm on staff at Bike Houston. A lot of people think of us as the bike people, but I like to think of us as the people. Everybody that came here today matters to Bike Houston, whether you rode your bike, drove, took public transit, and it matters to us that you can get home safely. When we celebrate the new Sharp Sound Trail or the soon-to-be open Pinckney Trail, we're not celebrating the pouring of concrete, but the fact that people have a new safe way to get around. When we protest against the loss of Austin Street bike lane, we're not protesting against the loss of paint and protective barriers, but protesting against the impact that it has on people's ability to safely get where they're going. Today, the county will hear about an update to the Vision Zero plan. Bike Houston fully endorses the investment that the county is making in a safe transportation network. We encourage y'all to consider hiring a Vision Zero coordinator that will make sure this investment is handled comprehensively and in a timely manner. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Peter Eccles, and I'm here representing Link Houston. Link Houston advocates for a robust and equitable transportation network so all people in our region can reach opportunity safely and with dignity. As you'll discuss later this afternoon with item 235, traffic crashes continue to be a leading cause of death and serious injury in Harris County. This body first took this crisis seriously in 2022 when you all first committed to a goal of 0 fatalities and serious injuries by 2030. And nearly 4 years later, this plan is ripe for an update. Because while there are individual projects that I don't have time to name all individually that have been implemented in all of your jurisdictions that are making a difference, traffic safety is an endemic countywide issue that must be addressed in a systemic way. recommitting to Vision Zero in 2026 provides this court with an opportunity to do so. This year, Harris County will also update its transportation master plan and its geometric design guidelines, two crucial documents that serve as a kind of
Thank you, Your
firmware
time
for
is
the
up.
Go ahead,
infrastructure
sir,
that Harris
so
County
you can wrap
delivers.
up.
By orienting these plans and policies around traffic safety, you all can assure that Vision Zero is addressed with the urgency that it deserves. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good morning, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Sonia Peng, and I'm here on behalf of Connect USA LLC. Our company is an electric vehicle die-casting auto part foundry company, and we are committed to building a long-term manufacturing operation in Harris County. We are hiring local residents, training workers, and contributing to the revitalization of a manufacturing sector. We believe this project will bring meaningful economic growth to the community. Chapter 321, tax abatement is a critical factor in determining our ability to move forward with the county's support. We are confident that can continue investing, expanding, and creating more opportunity for Harris County. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning. My name is James Pang from same company, Connect Company. I just want to say that by passing this tax abatement today, it'll help us tremendously because this gonna be will become an example, and the word's gonna get around that it's gonna give incentive for other Korean companies to come here as well. Right now, a lot of Korean companies are moving to USA because like the food companies, even cosmetic companies, and our margin is not as big as big companies like a Hyundai or Samsung. And by giving us this incentive, it'll help us a lot. And in Korea, there is no such thing as property tax. It was a very surprise to our company. It's an extra cost. So we'll educate other companies that we know, and by giving us this incentive, it'll help us more companies to move to Harris County. Thank you.
Thank you. Were you done, sir, with your remarks, or is there anything to add?
No.
All right. Thank you. I'm glad that this tax abatement system is working. Thank you.
Next is John Nix on item 235, Brian Dotson on item 235, Elaine Morales on item 243, Catherine Byers on item 243. You each have 1 minute.
Howdy, the awesome Judge Hidalgo, and fellow commissioners. My name is John Nix, and I'm calling in support of the 235. We need more and more Vision Zero efforts. One pedestrian death, one person on a bicycle dying is one way too many in the county. We need to do more and more to protect people like me. If you're even doubted just for a second, just think of a picture of someone like me as a poster child. I've seen it way too many times where I've almost gotten hit with our awful sidewalks that we have here in Houston, and how awful our bus system is, how often even like Spring Branch and so forth. It's just, it needs a lot of improvements, I would have to say, on that stuff. And I'm about to run out of time, so I encourage you to keep it going, and about out of time.
Go ahead,
Thanks.
sir, if you want to wrap up.
Sure. I'll also real quick support more and more road diets and traffic calmings, more bike paths for that, and go back to increasing the 1 minute. Maybe be like the city and have all the speakers on one day, and then the rest of the meeting on the second day, like the city of Houston does.
Thank you. We
Thanks
have
so much.
considered that. And I'll share, I was in a wheelchair for about a month in the last year. I hurt my ankle, and then I didn't listen to the doctor. And I finally really understood what it's like for folks in a wheelchair. So I
Yeah, I've
understand
been
you more
almost
than
hit
ever.
multiple
Yeah.
times. Can share my name, my stories, even how awful it is, how I have to cross multiple streets just to get to the bus stop that's like this narrow.
I don't know if you heard my exchange earlier with the mental health advocates. I would say the same thing. We're going to receive an update. But as you know, an update means nothing without money. And so
Right.
you guys are well organized. I would encourage you to identify how much money we need. And you can sit with the county engineer and ask him for numbers and have that ready for the budget season. And I'll have my team visit with you as well.
Okay, I know one idea is to work with Pernapolis, these people with big pockets, and maybe like how when you go out in the country, you see these signs that says, these to the road is like cleaned up by such and such company. Have our sidewalks done.
There you go. And I would
Oh,
say
it's something like that to where our corporate donors can, come in and do. They used to fix these sidewalks,
Right.
to fix these areas because it's awful. I'm still going with Metro. Metro's excuse to move on one stop by where I live is to move it even further away from where I have to go.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm on Metro Lift, but I have to, even if I have to take fixed route.
Yeah, and I
From
will
where I
tell
live.
you though, so the early childhood education program was killed for 40,000 kids. Then they said,
Right.
we're going to pay for this with philanthropy. It's yet to happen. So I would say, I think Commissioner Briones, you have experience with the philanthropic sector. Often she talks about it. So check with her. If there's not philanthropic support by the time budget season comes up, let
Right.
us know how much it costs, because that's when we don't have that community attention, that's when we kill the programs for children, and that's when we don't fund mental health, and that's when we cut other programs.
Right.
So just I'll circle back so we can have a number.
Right, and it hurts a lot of people even when there's certain bus routes that even run an hour, like to Commissioner Ramsey's Training Mental Health for voting. That bus route runs, 72 runs every hour, for
Right.
example.
Right, and that may be a separate issue.
Right,
but,
I know.
But
It's
we'll-
issues I've had with Metro. I
Right.
support more of a microtransit. in
Yeah,
Spring
we're
Branch.
gonna. I mean, I get it. So we're just gonna have to pick one. Whatever
I know, there's
we
a lot
have
of
the
things I
most.
could go on.
Whatever the county has the most impact on.
Right.
And my point is, before we give $100 million away, which is going to turn into $400 million every year, we ought to consider this kind of a thing.
Right.
And that was not done during the past budget season. So let's do it this budget season, because the 100 is going to turn into more. Eventually, it's 400 every year. So let me. We'll follow up with you and whatever support we can provide in landing on a number. And I would encourage you to visit with the resident expert in philanthropy to
Sure.
figure out if the philanthropy is
Right,
going to help.
definitely ought to. I know, like Dodge efforts is like will hurt people like me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
desperately. Like Medicaid's broken in Texas.
yeah.
And public transit, there's a lot of stuff that I have to deal with.
Right.
But definitely for Vision Zero, we need to make it stronger. We need stronger road diets
Right.
for help, get people like me around.
Yeah. Well, and we need money. So thank you for
Right.
advocating. All right. Thank
No
you.
problem. Thanks so much and have a great day and go team, whatever team you're rooting for.
All right. Thank you. I know, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, I'm Brian Dotson. I'm a resident in Precinct 3. I work in Precinct 4. I emailed specific comments to the judge's office and to Precinct 3. The economic cost of crashes in Harris County is $6 to $7 billion every year. $6 to $7 billion every year. I support efforts to save the residents money and save lives. However, I would encourage you to think outside the engineering box on this issue. In 2022, the Vision Zero was rolled out with great fanfare, and then it's been crickets ever since. Frankly, it would be better to not do it than to do it with half measures, as has been done in the past. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you said to think outside the engineering box. Did you have something in mind specifically? It's okay if you
I
did
emailed you
not.
specific recommendations.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Elaine Morales. I'm the local executive director at Connective Houston, the backbone nonprofit organization behind Unlock My Benefits Texas. Unlock My Benefits Texas is a tech-enabled, community-based one-stop shop for screening, applying for, and keeping benefits on your own via phone or in person. And Harris County Public Health connectors are a key part of that network. In the first year together, we unlocked $10 million in annualized benefits, or $4,300 monthly for families. I want to thank Harris County Public Health and Executive Director Leah Barton for bringing forward this county-wide strategy to address food insecurity in item 243. Too many families are making impossible trade-offs between groceries, rent, medication, and transportation. Programs like SNAP and WIC are among our strongest tools to reduce food insecurity. But tens of thousands of eligible residents are either not enrolled or at risk of losing these benefits because the systems are too complex and rules keep changing. We are committed to breaking these barriers to get food on the table, dollars freed up for other expenses, and better
Thank
health
you. Your time
outcomes
is up.
driven by stable nutrition.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead and finish up.
We are proud to be an implementation partner in this county approach. We know collective action to reach residents with dignity is necessary. Go to unlockmybenefitstexas.org to learn more. Thank you.
Thank you for coming down. Appreciate your remarks.
Good
Go ahead.
morning.
Welcome.
Catherine Byers, Government Relations Officer at the Houston Food Bank. I'm here today to highlight two priorities from the countywide strategy to address food insecurity. The first is nutrition education, and the second is SNAP enrollment. The real key to successful nutrition education is a holistic approach, bringing nutritious food, access to health care, and then information on how to cook nutritious food on a very low-income budget with the food you have available. We have these elements woven together through our food prescription program as well as our nutrition education team. The second priority is SNAP enrollment. It is more than ever important for neighbors, particularly veterans and individuals 55 to 64, to understand the work requirements that now apply to them. We've been doing a lot of work with the business community as well as neighbors to make sure they understand what's going to be necessary for people to access these work requirements and to be able to successfully stay on SNAP for more than 3 months every 3 years. Thank you for your investment so far, and we look forward to working with you moving forward.
Did you have anything else to add?
No, ma'am, that was it.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Sharon Zachary on item 243. Kathleen Moore on item 243. Sarah Riemann on items 285 and 286. And Sarah Knight on items 285 and 286. You each have 1 minute.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Sharon Zachary. I'm CEO of the Alliance of Community Assistance Ministries, or ACAM. I want to thank you for the opportunity to share the success of the Harris County Helping Hands Benefits Assistance Program. Currently, we're coordinating 10 community nonprofit partners serving every precinct in Harris County. With your support, we have submitted 9,444 applications for health and health-related benefits for 6,976 people, with over 2,500 of these applications for SNAP. This significantly reduces food insecurity for many of our families. ACAM advocates for collaboration to create community-wide solutions for thriving nonprofits, neighborhoods, and families. Helping Hands has benefited a lot of people, but there's a lot more to do. There are over 500,000 Harris County residents eligible but not enrolled. I look forward to meeting with each of you to discuss how to ensure, thank you, our families in Harris County all have a path to stability, health, and wealth. Thank you.
Thank you. Look forward to visiting with you. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Kathy Moore, and I'm here in support of item 243 and the county's investment in addressing food insecurity. ECHOS is proud to be one of the 10 organizations that are part of the Helping Hands program, and it works. We have enrolled more than 2,300 Harris County residents in the benefits that they are qualified for. 56% of those we have enrolled are children under the age of 18. And the majority of our families of color disproportionately impacted by food insecurity. We have facilitated 680 SNAP enrollments, giving hundreds of households reliable access to nutritious food. For the families we serve, SNAP reduces the pressure
Go ahead, ma'am.
of choosing between groceries and other basic needs. Helping Hands goes beyond sharing information or just checking for eligibility. It walks families through the process of application assistance, helping them fill out their application. That is real impact. We are grateful for the county's leadership to strengthen Harris County families, and I thank you for hearing us out today.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, ma'am.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. My son's death in custody, along with so many others, is a direct result of this court's willful negligence to apply data-driven solutions. How many more feasibility studies does this county need to waste money on before actually applying the expert advice given to us? Had the $3 million spent on Justice Management Institute's recommendations been implemented back in 2020, we would not be having this conversation about overcrowding and outsourcing, and my sons would never have died in LaSalle Corrections. Now, it feels like you are adding salt to the wound by hiring the same CGL company that has a long reputation of bribery, discriminatory, and unsafe practices at their facilities. And if that wasn't enough,
ahead, ma'am.
Here in Texas, CGL's parent company was subjecting hundreds of military families to hazardous conditions like dangerous mold, lead-based paint, and rodent and insect infestation in their substandard housing. Is this who you want to trust with the lives of our children? Thank you.
Could you please state your name for the record?
My name is Sarah Knight.
Ma'am, thank you for sharing your experience again. I know it must be painful. This is the first time I've heard you speak about the CGL issue. Would you mind just expanding on that a little bit?
Sure. Let me get my notes. So the definition of the feasibility study, it's a critical pre-project assessment designed to determine if proposed venture is technically, economically, or operationally viable. It defines potential risk, cost, and benefits to inform decision-making, aiming to ensure resources, efficiencies, and success before major investments are made. A feasibility study only works if you are willing to engage with your reality. Expanding a jail that has not met its state minimum standards will not help the conditions of those that are incarcerated, but instead force more people to suffer.
Thank you. So I know we're going to talk about this more later, but just I know the speaker's probably going to have to leave. So does this have to do with having
I
a
tried
new?
to wait for a while, but once you guys had to take lunch, I had to go eat myself.
I understand. Just is this Director Mills, or I don't know who the right person is, to do with the new jail facility? They say yes. So I've said this before, but I really want to mark my words on this. I probably won't be here for that. If we have a second facility and we don't close the first one, we're going to fill them both. And so I know the advocates know that. And my request, and I'll make it here again, is as a proposal comes to build a new facility, in theory, is more humane, there should also be a proposal at the same time on how what we're going to do with the first one and the JPC and the women's jail, you know, because they call it the women's center, but it's a women's jail, and the joint processing center, but it's got jail cells. So don't forget about the names. It's a little bit Orwellian. What are we going to do so we're not just incarcerating more people? It's like the freeways, you know, you widen the freeways, you still have traffic, you just get more traffic. You increase the jail, you're going to put more people in it. I'm not just saying it, is the academic papers say this.
Absolutely.
So anyway, so my official request is that those two things come at the same time, and I've made that request before over the years and we've voted on it.
Yeah, we understand, Judge. I mean, I think the JGAC is taking all those requests seriously. I don't think we're doing anything today that's contrary to what you're talking about. So I don't think we have as staff any issue with that request.
No, I don't think it's contrary, but the items that come on this, there is never a mention of how are we going to not keep the other facility open. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
So even though we've talked about it, there's no indication that that's actually going to happen. And if it doesn't come at the same time, we're going to vote to approve this and we're going to keep them both.
I think at this point, we are looking to take a data-driven approach. I think the thing that's special about the way we're going about this project is that we're looking at community solutions also that offset the necessary footprint in the jail. And these contracts will be getting us off the ground.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have a problem with this.
I understand that we don't know enough yet to know what we're going to need, if we're going to need a new facility, if it's going to need to be a smaller facility, if it needs to be a specialized facility. These are things why we have these consultants coming in. And I think the way that we're going about this, again, looking at things that we could do in the community that would offset the need, will help guide us in that. But yes, the contract would include if it is a total replacement facility, what we should do with the old. That would include.
No, I hear you, and you're very good at your job, and I agree with everything you guys are saying. To be clear, my point is we do not need more jail cells than we already have. That's my point.
Correct.
And that because what that'll do is we're just going to fill that, and we're working on reducing the jail population, so we know that can go down. And so that's the motion I made a while ago. And I like the data driven, but remember that early childhood education was data driven and it was evaluated. It was completely ignored. So you guys are going to have to mobilize because data driven doesn't mean anything to some of us here. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Tiffany, would you call the next speaker?
Hey, Commissioners Court. My name is Sarah. I live in Precinct 4. I'm an artist. I'm a teacher. Hi, Commissioner Briones. So you are considering this non-carceral study and a jail feasibility study. These are revealing a contradiction that the county really needs to face because, you know, you're saying, why do these studies, first of all, need $1 million each? Why do you need $1 million to do a study? That $2 million could have gone to the cuts in public health. It could have gone to maternal health. It could have gone to early childhood reach. I mean, why don't you just put that money there? Because the jail is falling apart, as Judge Hidalgo said, and we already know that it's the problem. We already know it's overcrowded because it's not because the sheriff does not have enough cages, but it's because you are criminalizing poverty and mental illness in Harris County. And studying how to modernize or expand carceral infrastructure, you are expanding that risk. It's in your hands, all of you, like all of you right here. And a jail feasibility study, jails functions as a tool of social control. A jail feasibility study, no matter how well-intentioned, first of all, you should have done your research on bribes or things like this before you agreed to give them $1 million each. And you know, it centers cages as the solution to the crisis, no matter what, having a study. I don't know how many more studies you need to do to prove this. And non-carceral solutions isn't just an appendix or a little check mark to a jail. It's supposed to replace it. We're supposed to abolish jails and replace it with non-carceral solutions. Invest in communities, not cages. You don't need a $2 million study to tell you that. Why do they get $1 million each, non-carceral and the jail feasibility study? Thank you.
Thank you. And I don't know if, like, when we get to this item, I do have to ask, just because we take these accusations seriously, whether it's the purchasing director or the auditor, I'm guessing purchasing, these allegations about bribes and whatnot, I'm assuming you guys have run that down, but anyway, I just got to check. And the speaker mentioned the 2020 study. I think Commissioner Ellis, when we walked out of George Floyd's funeral, maybe that's where that came from, or right before, that said, how are we going to improve our justice system? Anyway, I'm going to look back into it with my team so we can bring it back, because we did spend money on this study, so we knew the solutions back then. I'm glad y'all brought it up. All right, next speaker.
Next is non-agenda speaker Reverend Jacelette Griffin and non-agenda speaker Alexi Swirsky. You each have 1 minute.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Commissioners. I am Reverend Jacelette Griffin. I'm the mother of Evan Griffin Lee, who was murdered in Harris County Jail 2022, March. I'm facing 4 years, no closure, no answers, no accountability. But I'm here as I've started to make contact with many families who have experienced the same atrocity as myself and my family. And to just to hear the plow. And just last week at the Texas Jail Commission meeting, Judge, I invite you personally, if you can in your term, to listen to some of the remedial problems at the Harris County Jail and the funds that are allocated and asked for. I feel that the mental illness that is at stake, my son was too, and not administered any medications during his stay there. However, the mental health problems that we have in our jails, Harris County Jail with 75% is my understanding and the literature I've read, that would practically close the jail down if we did detour all those that's there. The empty buildings that we have here, I had a conversation last week with the previous commissioner, Commissioner Brandon Woods, on how these buildings that are not used, instead of using millions of dollars to build something new, what about what we have? I don't know if the buildings will be state property or not, but I think it'd be a great idea if we could use buildings as a jail for those that's mentally challenged, because these are patients that needs help.
Yeah, they don't need jail.
They don't need to be jailed. They don't need to be detained. They need help. And that will reduce the homeless population as well. And just as this atrocity has caused my family to be crime victims, and because they're in custody, there's no assistance for us. So I've gone from a working class citizen at the age of 15 to now no job, and using all my little retirement fees I had is all gone now. And today facing an eviction. This has just rolled back as a domino effect on these custody deaths, and also the jail detainees and the defendants that are there. The resources here, the state of Texas is huge enough. We should have more resources for families, those that are detained, their families. They reach out to people like myself because they don't know. And that's why we try and have events to know your rights. And these type of things, I feel, Judge, they're very small to me because I'm not in your seats up there, either of you. But it's very simple to see that you have sick people that's you allowable for. And they're losing their lives because they're vulnerable to those that's in there. And those that's in there come to me as well. Yeah, that person, white feeties all over the wall, and the officers there, they don't do anything about it. That caused a problem with them, So at least they should be someplace different. I feel like in a different building. Also, the staff should be a different staff.
You know, our law enforcement, we trust them. They're sworn in. But I think a facility like that, again, the conversation last week in in Austin, if we have staff members that are trained staff members, not law enforcement people, no offense to any law enforcers, but when you have patients, you should have those that are medically trained to take care of them.
Yeah.
And it's my understanding that they have medications that you can render to these patients, and it could send them 6 months to a year to be stable.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'm so sorry for your loss. And I know you mentioned feces on the wall. Is that what I heard you say?
Yes. That type of behavior, it's coming from those that are not medicated and they're mentally challenged, Judge.
Yeah, I mean,
And, you know, they're in the officers, they let them do that. They be in their waste, you know, from liquid to all of it, you know, and nothing be done about it. And that causes a problem right in that immediate cell.
Right. And I'm not going to generalize, but I have heard from officers as well to say, we expect too much of them. It's like, you're not trained to be a mental health professional. That's not fair. And so if you've been arrested, well, you have to be in a secure facility. That's just the way the law works. But that doesn't mean that you don't receive care or that you're expected to receive care from folks whose expertise is different. There's somebody who came earlier and was speaking about mapping mental health needs. And we're talking about we need to figure out how much it's going to cost, not just map it. That's what happened with Vision Zero. We talk about it. We haven't done anything about it. We're still the county with the most deaths per capita of anywhere in the country, per capita, not just absolute numbers. So maybe I'll ask my staff to just connect you two because you have enough to do. Maybe they can help. But I think if there's going to be a proposal of how much money we need for mental health, and it's going to come before May 5th, so we can consider it with the budget, well, it should look at things holistically. How are you going to keep people from going to jail? How are you going to address the people that are in the jail, recognizing they've been arrested, they need to be in a secure facility, and then, you know, once they leave, it's the same cycle, right? They're homeless, and then they're arrested for something to do with mental health, and then it starts over again. So I think it's great that we're really having this conversation, and I think these massive investments that happened last year without prior planning or study or anything like that opened the door for us to say, okay, if you're going to do that, then we're going to do that too. And let's see them vote against that. You have my word on helping y'all work on that. You mentioned the Texas Jail Commission meeting.
Yes, Judge. I would love, if any way possible, if you could just, you know, before this year is out, or watch the tapes, just to hear some of the stories of the families, and also all the remedials that is happening with your jail. As a judge, I just would like to see and to hear, you know, what your insights on.
Yeah,
on some
and
of
just to
those.
say again, so I'll probably watch the tape just because I'm not the favorite person over in Austin, but I just have to say, and I feel I have to say this always, is the sheriff is not to blame for this, in my perspective. He's taking the people that are arrested and sent to him. He's doing the best he can with the resources he can, with the facilities he has, and with the number of officers he has. And so I don't think there's any one part of the system to blame, but one part that we can all blame is the lack of investment. And so that is what I'm advocating for, is dollars, not just talking, not just saying I'm so sorry.
Okay, I want to thank each of you just for listening and also acknowledging the problem is there. God bless you.
Thank you.
I will.
Comments.
I will send you
We were
those
going to email
comments.
you some public comments
Some
from
public comments.
the Texas Commissioner on Jail Standards is the name.
All right.
It's a quarterly meeting that we go to.
Okay, thank you.
Again, thank you.
Go ahead, Ms. Swirsky.
Alexei Swirsky. In Texas, the County Commissioners Court has the mandatory duty under Local Government Code, Chapter 351, to pay millions of dollars for studies at the county jail. Is that what is required? Or is it in Texas, the Commissioners Court has the mandatory duty under Local Government Code, Chapter 351, to provide, establish, and maintain a suitable county jail, safe and suitable county jail. Certainly paying over $1 million for another study of the Harris County Jail more than meets the first requirement, but in fact, the second statement is really what Texas requires. While the Harris County Jail failed state inspections for years, record numbers of inmates die in the jail, and prison personnel are assaulted, the priority of this Commissioner's Court is to pay for more studies, not to provide a safe and suitable county jail. Spending millions of dollars on more studies is just an excuse for not doing what is really needed to improve the Harris County Jail. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Just want to make sure those were all your remarks since we've allowed folks to go over time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Those are all the speakers, Judge.
Okay, and that includes non-agenda?
Yes, ma'am.